Hey,
Hey there. Can you hear me all right?
I can, yeah. How you
Hey,
doing?
good. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, nice to see you. You're my first on Zoom podcast. I usually do a lot of them on the phone, so
Oh, cool.
yeah, appreciate it.
Well,
Yeah, do you recognize me at all? I've seen you around a bunch.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, we've I think we've hung out at Z's house up here in Tahoe before, back when he
Oh,
used to do the hoedown. I think we did a shot ski together or two back in the day.
oh yeah, dude, the shot ski, man. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. It-
he's a listener, so I figured I'd give him a shout out. He used to live pretty much diagonal from my house, so
but no longer.
no, he moved up into the country, and then since then he's moved up to Chico. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, how's everything with you?
It's going well. Just dropped the kids off at preschool and yeah, just getting into it today.
Nice. Do you have two kids?
Two, two and a
Nice.
half, 4.5 year olds.
Right on. I got a 6-year-old just finished her just graduated from kindergarten, so
Whoa, man, how's that going?
it's going pretty cool, man. No complaints for me.
Yeah, awesome.
Give me one sec. Can you t give me talk just one say one more thing just so I can make sure my
Right
levels are
in. Checking, checking, checking.
right on. Yeah, I walk her down to the bus stop. She's in kindergarten, but she likes to take the bus, so that's been pretty cool. To drop
Oh, man.
her little person off at the bus, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Man, I can't, I just like, yeah, every step of the way, you just like can't imagine. Uh, I just like can't even picture like that act of like being like, okay, cool, here, you know what I mean? But it just goes, like they say, it goes so fast, you know?
And that's the thing. Next thing you know, you're just doing that, and the next thing you know, like my lady just asked if or she just asked because my kid wants to get her ears pierced, and I was like, I don't think I'm doing that yet.
Oh, dude, yeah,
I was
ours
like,
is,
you're too cute right now. I don't think we're going that route.
I know, dude. She's like not far behind. She's 4.5, wants to do that, wants to wear makeup and stuff. I'm like, this is no, no, come
Yeah,
on.
seriously, what happened to the days of just doing shot skis at Z's house, right?
I know.
Right
Different
on.
world we live in
Yeah,
now.
so I like to start off my conversations with everybody, asking if there's anything you've been listening to lately that's been inspiring you, or things that get you going, or things just good music out there, or anything like that, just to get people interested in other stuff out there.
Sure, man. I mean, let's see, what have I been listening to? I have been, well, since the Alabama Shakes got back together, I've been listening to some of that. I love the Alabama Shakes, and they went on hiatus for a little while, but now they're touring again, which is pretty awesome. I think they're great.
Yep.
Um, what else have I been listening to? You mean besides kids' music?
Well, that I mean that's cool too. I mean,
Well, dude, this is such a funny thing. I mean, because people are like, well, I think good kids music is can be all right. I'm not gonna listen to it on my own without kids there, but my kids do love it. But do you know the band Presidents of the United States of America?
I do. Yep, from back.
Right?
I know from back in the day. I haven't listened to him in a bit, but yeah.
Right, dude. And man, I didn't get into that stuff, because that they had a couple singles out like Lump and Pete the Peaches song.
Peaches. Yeah, that's the one I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is kitschy and kind of goofy and stuff. But then I listened to the album. I'm like, this album is so good. And but the dude that the main songwriter and singer and guitar player for that band has a kids music side project called Casper Baby Pants. It's like, and it's so, but as far as kids music, I mean, it's just like good songs and good music, but like, it's pretty cool for that realm, for that
Yeah.
world of music. And it's like very similar, like when you think back, you're like, millions of peaches,
Yep.
peaches, that could be like a kid song, you know what I mean? So,
100%. Yep.
which is kind of funny. But
That,
anyway,
yeah, we're gonna have to cue that one up when Lila gets home from school, my daughter. So I'll check it
dude,
out.
yeah, pretty solid.
What's new in the Brothers Comatose world these days? You got new music, or you?
Yeah, lots of new music. We got an album coming out in I think September. I'm not really sure of the actual release date, but I think it's September. Um, and we just put a single out. It's the title track of the record. It's called Golden Grass. that is super cool, I think. I wrote it with our fiddle player Phil and Tim Bloom from the Mother Hips.
Yep, I know Tim
Um,
pretty well from
oh yeah,
around. Yep, he's the man.
he's amazing, dude. What a great songwriter he is and stuff. And so it was cool to get together with those guys and work up a song. And it turned out pretty cool. It's got a definitive message behind it because I don't know, like being a string band from California, like you're like, oh, where do you sit in the world of like string band music or bluegrass music or whatever? Because it's not really traditional at all. So you can't really like fit in super well with the traditionalists. But so it kind of talks about that a little bit, like the influence of different genres and California music on string band music, I guess, or our music. And a bunch of other bands coming from California that are super awesome. We like name drop some other friends' bands in there.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, I gave that a listen this morning when I was walking to school with the kid. We listened to it
oh,
on the walk
nice.
down. Yeah, it's a good one. I like it.
Thanks, man.
Nice. And I thought it would be cool. I'm sure you've done this a lot, but just to get maybe you can give us a little bit of history about how you got started playing music on your own with with family members and how the band came to be.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, I play in the band with my brother Alex, who plays banjo and sings as well. And I guess it all started with our mom. She was in a band when we were kids called Compass Rose, and it was a quartet, like folk quartet, kind of a lot of harmonies, kind of in the vein of Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young, and that kind of stuff. And yeah, I guess we all just kind of sat and watched them rehearse back in the day. And then at some point when we were teenagers, they started having music parties around the house on Sundays when all the local musicians didn't have gigs or anything like that. So people would come over and just like sit in the living room and just pass songs around and playing each other's songs and be like, oh, this one's in G, it goes 1 4 5, and I'm like, what? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Like didn't know what that meant at the time, so I was just trying to like hang. um but it was cool, man. It was a fun way to experience music in like a super loose and collaborative community environment. And so that's kind of where we got our start. And so he and I
Did you ever chime in on the when at what point did you start actually chiming in on that, or were you mostly just kind of checking it out?
Oh, I think that was at the point where I was like, actually, I started to sing a little bit more. I didn't sing for like a long, long time. Um, but those kind of inspired me, to like bring whatever goofy song we were learning at the time. We were listening to like whatever you do when you're a teenager growing up in California. We were listening to like Sublime and Red Hot Chili Peppers and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, let's play this Sublime song, whatever,
Yeah.
And so it was cool, man. The everybody was super fun and very supportive, and would play along with whatever I brought to the table, or Alex brought to the table, and that's kind of where we got our start in the living room.
Gotcha. And did you find when you guys started singing that people kind of took notice, or was it just like everybody playing and everyone was just taking notice of everybody else?
I think it was um, maybe just because we were the younger
Yeah.
people in there, so they were really cool with it. They were like stoked that we were initiating whatever, or like bringing something to the table, or even maybe some music they hadn't heard before or something like that. And yeah, so it was fun. Everybody was really supportive.
And then when did you guys start playing together? Like just through that, or did you guys form a band after that, or?
Yeah, it was through that. It was really casual at the time. I was playing in rock bands and stuff, but we hadn't formed like a band or anything. So it was a lot of just kind of casual sitting around the living room, kind of playing the songs that we loved, and we didn't write anything for a little while, I think, as which is maybe kind of common. And then after a while, it was super easy. It was really fun. We were just there and playing anyway. So we're like, oh, let's like play an open mic or something. And then I think it just kind of snowballed into, oh, let's call our buddy Gio up who plays bass, or our buddy Joe who plays mandolin, and just kind of start to bring in other musicians and start working on songs and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess. it just sort of happened, you know,
Yep.
very naturally.
Nice. And what do you think makes you most happy, and what's most difficult about being in a band these days?
Well, I think going back to the family thing and the kids
Yep.
thing, it's like leaving. Like, you know, it's sad to leave your kids and just be like, I gotta go again, you know, this next weekend. And I mean, fortunately, we're not on the road for large chunks of time. We do a lot of like flying out for long weekends and stuff like that and shorter tours, but that's definitely hard, you know, when your kids get sad when you take off, that's
Yep.
heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, I'm they're going away tomorrow here, and she's already crying last night, and I'm like, just come on, please. And
Oh yeah.
I'm a traveler myself. I spend a lot of time going all sorts of places, and yeah, it definitely makes it a little harder. You're just like, oh, please don't do that, like quivering bottom lip,
Yeah. Oh,
thing.
that's awful. I mean, on one hand, it's really difficult to do that, to say goodbye to your family and but you know, it's also I think it's good to show them, like, be like, this is what I do. I make a living from playing music, and hopefully can inspire them to pursue passions and things like that. Also, whenever I go out on the road, I get way more sleep than I do at home. So it's like you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it must be
So
that constant like yin and yang. I mean, you're also probably pretty fired up to hit the road sometimes too. Yeah,
oh,
just
absolutely.
to be playing music and out on the road, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's fun, you know, traveling and meeting people and seeing like the most beautiful parts of the country and the world. And yeah, man, I feel lucky every single day. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And do you think besides what you just mentioned, has anything else changed, like from you being a family guy now, just being on the road, besides just the kids? Like, has your mentality changed or anything like that? Do you find?
You mean in relation to being in a band and
Yeah,
touring?
yeah. Now that you have like kids and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think maybe, you know, I take things a little more seriously than I did. You know, I think age-wise and family-wise and things like that, I think more is on the line. So you're like, oh, okay, if I'm doing this thing, I gotta like really give it my all and make it serious instead of, not that I was like ever fucking around
Yeah.
that much, but you know, maybe I'll drink less and you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, for sure.
uh and just try to put everything into it, you know? Like if I'm going for it, you gotta give it your all.
Yeah, and do you play a lot of music at home? It looks like behind you got a lot of stuff, but do you
Yeah.
play? I mean,
Oh, I got a
are
kid's
you
drum kit back here too. Yeah. Oh, totally, man.
because
Yeah.
you guys are kind of a family of musicians, correct?
Yeah, my wife is in a couple bands. She's in the T Sisters and she's in Moon Alice, and we have a band together too called Terrier, where we it's like a folk duo kind of thing. So we're both pretty busy. And so yeah, you know, we try to sing and play as much as we can around the house, and the kids jump in and stuff sometimes, or they'll just completely stop us, be like, I don't want you to sing right now, or
Yeah.
like walk up to the guitar and just put their hands on the guitar strings and be like, stop, okay, yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah,
are you in the Bay Area? Is that where you are right now?
yeah. I'm in the North Bay. I'm in Santa Rosa.
Gotcha. And then is your touring takes you all over the place, yeah?
Man, all over this year. Yeah, we're traveling a ton. We were just in Alaska. We went to up to Washington, out to Port Angeles. We were in Colorado last weekend, going back up to Sawtooth, the Sawtooth Mountains, for Sawtooth Valley Gathering up in Stanley, Idaho. We're going to first time over to Europe this year. We're going to
Sweet.
London in the Netherlands. We're co-headlining this festival called the Rotterdam Bluegrass Festival. I can't
Yeah.
wait. I can't wait. I
Have
lived
you
in
got
London for a
have you
little
guys
while,
played over
so
there before in Europe?
never played in Europe. No, I mean, so I'm really excited.
And what were you saying? You
Oh, I
went to
lived in London for a little while when I was 20 years old, so I'm stoked to go back and when I lived over there, that was kind of like what got music started for me, really. I was met some guys with a recording studio, and me and some of my roommates at the time, we like went into the studio. We wrote a couple songs, and that was my first recording experience, and
Sweet.
so it was cool, man. This is like bringing it back around. It's really exciting to get to
That
go back.
yeah, that's great. Does that come based on like somebody hitting you up and say, "Do you want to headline this festival?" And then all of a sudden you're going over there? Is that how that kind of
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah, we've had a couple offers in the past to go over there, but it didn't really make financial sense. It's really, plane tickets round trip are like $2,000. And so
Yeah.
we have 5-person band, and we want to bring our awesome crew, like lighting and sound and tour manager and stuff too. And so we had the offer for the festival, and we added the London show. Since we were going to be over there, we're like, we got to play London too. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, can't wait.
Do you guys get a little bit of downtime to check stuff out too while you're over there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm spending just a couple days on either side, but
Yeah.
can't really spend too much time because yeah, the kids are going to be at school, and
Yeah.
I don't want to leave my wife home alone with both kids. You only get a certain amount of cash to spend in that department, so
Yeah.
but I'm gonna try to enjoy it as much as I can in that little amount of time.
Yeah, I always find that one of the to be one of the most interesting things about touring acts is like whenever I look at the touring schedule, like the day by day, like one place to the next. Because me being a traveler, like I always like to have time to look around. But I guess if you're playing music, you're also getting, your own unique view of passing through these places, and also a good way probably for you to write songs and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I part of me wishes I had the ability to stick around in some of these places. I mean, I guess the other part of me is, wanting to get home and come hang with the family, but there's so much cool stuff to see out there. Like
Yeah.
some of the people in the band that have, fewer home responsibilities get to like hang and stuff, and I'm like, all right, well, good for you guys. Like go and enjoy for the rest of us, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. I have this motto like whenever you're going somewhere, someone else is leaving, and whenever you're leaving, someone else is getting there, you know. I used to whenever I travel somewhere and I'd be somewhere for like a month or 2 months, and then it'd be like my last day, I'd meet someone, they'd be like, "Oh, you're leaving? That oh man, that stinks. You have to go home."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Actually, it's all right. I just spent, whatever amount of time I got to spend here." So,
Yeah, I think it
and
like makes it
yeah.
forces you to like get as much in as you can while you have it, you know?
For sure. I noticed that in your summer lineup, you guys are playing a lot of festivals. Is there a particular reason for is just festival season, or do you prefer to play like at a festival versus like a Brothers Comatose, headlining show?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, festivals are so fun. It is festival season, right? But
Yeah,
it is it's a much different experience than like headlining a show and having people like pay money that like know your songs and want to come out and sing the words to your songs and stuff like that, which is its own really special experience. But festivals, it's a whole different thing. Like you're probably playing in front of a lot of people that haven't seen you before, maybe haven't heard of you at all. So you kind of gotta like bring something else to the table where you're attempting to win people over, and hopefully like be like, oh, check this thing out that I can do, or that you might dig. Um, but people are in such a cool headspace in the festival scene because that might be like their only vacation or festival that whole year, and just the amount of joy that people have and experience in those kind of scenarios is it's really cool to see. Um, so it's fun to come into and like and get to hang out with those people and get to play for those people because a lot of times they give back a lot of energy because yeah, they're just so stoked to be there and be among all these other people. It's just like it's a symbiotic relationship where people it's just like bubbling and you can feel the excitement. So it's really cool to be a part of.
yeah, and I mean that's part of the reason why I got you on the line here is to talk about we got the Gamblers Run Festival coming out here to Lake Tahoe, and you're our night one kind of headliner of that festival. What is it about Tahoe that you like? And that,
Everything.
yep,
Dude, Tahoe, I mean, like I said, I've been pretty fortunate to travel to so many places, but nothing can beat Tahoe in the summertime. I mean, I'm not as much into the winter sports. Tahoe in the wintertime is also awesome, but something about like the smell of Lake Tahoe in the summertime, jumping into the lake, like the water is so healing, the air is so special. Just it's magic, man. Not to mention the beauty, but like I grew up in the Bay Area and my family went up all the time in the summertime. And so it's a nostalgic thing, I think, for me, but it's also just like unmatched beauty. It's
Yeah.
so any chance I can get to get up to Tahoe in the summertime, I'm all on board.
Nice. So do you know like well in advance that you're playing this festival, or is it just like do you just get like a ping in your inbox and you see where you're playing and you're like, yeah, I'm playing in Tahoe. Sweet.
Oh
How does
no,
that work?
we found out a long time
Yeah.
ago.
Okay,
I
cool.
think as soon as like an offer comes in, we just like jump on it immediately. And we've
Yeah.
never played this before. We played Crystal Bay uh, many times from Red Room late night after shows to like the Crown Room headlining and stuff like that. And I love it there. It's so much fun. So
Yeah.
this was outdoors, I believe, right? Like outside the casino.
Yeah, they have one stage inside and one stage outside.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So I would I'm not going to claim where I think you're going to play, but I there is an outdoor stage, and I would imagine that's probably where you'll play. Do you have any specific awesome memories from any gigs in the past in Tahoe?
It's well, every time I play play up there at the casino, I end up like losing money at the blackjack tables afterwards. I do my best to minimize that, but I don't know, man. I have so many
Yeah.
good memories of like hanging with Dead Winter Carpenters folks like after hours at the blackjack tables and throwing down money on whether or not I'm losing money, I don't care.
Yeah,
Like it was
for sure.
just so many fond memories of hanging with those guys.
Yeah, Jenny and Jesse and I go way back. I've known Jenny for 20 some odd years, so
Oh man, that's great. I love them. And now they're out in Vermont, and so I don't get to see them as much anymore. But we got some good hang time in Mexico. We played a festival back in April, um, Sand and Strings Festival
heck yeah.
down in Sayulita. It was fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I just got a couple more questions about kind of music in general. How do you feel about people using like things like Chat GPT to write their music? And do you think it's just another tool, or I've been seeing more and more of that around, and I just been interested in other people's opinions on it.
Man, I've been thinking about this actually over the last couple days, like a lot, and trying to think of like where we as musicians and artists and creative people like fit into this world now that it's so easy. You can have ChatGPT write lyrics for you. You can pump those lyrics into like a song generator and like have an AI bot like sing a country song for you or a bluegrass song, and you just like create something from scratch. And it's like it's can be kind of good, which is really scary, you know?
Yeah,
Um, but I was thinking of like of it in context of being a songwriter and like I don't know how good it's gonna get. I mean, it's already pretty good at like writing lyrics. Like I've done it as like a test before. I'm like, oh, write lyrics. I'm feeling this way. I want to write a song about this and this and this. And like, can you write this song for me? And it just like pumps out verses and choruses. And um, while it's like can be pretty good or clever or whatever, it still ends up being generic, right? It's still coming from a computer. And I've been thinking about it in the songwriting context, and like it just makes me want to dig in. It's changed, I think, my songwriting because it makes me want to make it even more personal.
yep,
Because in the songwriting world, I think for a long time it's been like, oh, you want to make your lyrics a little more general so that they're more accessible to other people, right? Like At least, like especially in the pop songwriting world, right? Like you want people to like listen to those lyrics and be able to apply them to their own lives or whatever, or like so that they can kind of access the song in whatever way, personal way that they can. But more and more, I'm just like trying to think of using songwriting and using more personal experiences and putting more of that into it to make it less AI like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I work as a photographer. That's my main gig, and I write stories, and it's the same thing. It's like, it's the humans versus the like kind of the humans versus the robots, and like, am I capable of doing this? Do I need that? Do I need to use that? Like I've trained myself all these years to do this, but yeah, it is an interesting. That's why I'm kind of interested. I have friends that totally use it and friends that totally don't. And I have friends that still, I play in a little band and my bandmate was here the yesterday and he still uses a pen and pencil. Sorry, a pen and paper. And
Yeah.
he doesn't even, I'm like transcribing the words onto the computer. So it's like,
Yeah.
I have one buddy who's constantly using it, another one who doesn't even like turn on a computer. So it's just an interesting juxtaposition.
Well, I think, I have used it before as inspiration, right? Like, if I'm stuck with something and I'm like, oh, I just feel like I can't go anywhere with this right now. I have um, put something into ChatGPT, and while like, most of it was I thought was kind of like crap or whatever, there was maybe like a line that was inspiring. I'm like, I didn't even think about like that. And so I'll never use like word for word or anything like that. But if like a theme or a short phrase or a word or whatever is inspiring, I will, take that and go my own direction with it to like.
Yeah.
So I think it can be used as a tool, but it's kind of dangerous to have all of that and like, or I guess it's kind of like lazy maybe to use to just let it do it for you because you got to put your own spin on things and make it your own, or else it's just like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's kind of that's kind of how I feel about it. But yeah, it's obviously really interesting, and it kind of blows my mind every day. And you keep hearing about different ways it's being used, and yeah, I thought it'd be interesting to ask somebody who from the genre that you play in, where the songwriting is such a unique part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously most people who know you have heard like your version of Valerie, and I recently caught wind of the version that you did of These Days with AJ Lee,
Oh
and
yeah.
I thought that was pretty awesome. And I mean these duets that you do specifically are music to everyone's ears. And is this something that you think you'll keep doing? Is this just something that what makes the duet like so, powerful? And is it something you think you'll keep doing different iterations of different songs with people?
Totally. I mean, I think collaborating is one of my favorite things to do, and it's such a joyful process. Um, and also just kind of, I think it builds community in the scene and stuff too, like instead of making it be like, this is my band and this is what we do, here it is, which is totally fine. I just really enjoy like collaborating with other people. I think it's a big part of this scene and this genre, any kind of folk or bluegrass or any of that kind of stuff. Um, a lot of the people that I've met in the scene who've been in it for a long time, like go to like those. I don't know if you've been to any of those like bluegrass festivals, like Father's Day Bluegrass Festival or anything like that, but a huge part of those things is like jamming, like in the camps and like the
Yep.
after hours, like people, they go to see the music, but like that's only half of what is going on. Like people just like playing songs all night long in their camps and like that's such a cool and beautiful thing that they can. It kind of reminds me of like the my our living room music party days. It's just
Yep.
like that people. It's such a community driven thing, and there's just so much talent out there, and it's fun to just collaborate with all sorts of people. We just put a video out yesterday with our friends Dust Bowl Revival from LA, and we just we've been friends with them for a long time, but we were playing the same festival in Alaska, and so we're like, hey, let's do a song together, and we'll make a video of it. And they sent us this tune, and I'm like, oh, this old Everly Brothers tune that Linda Ronstadt did a cool version of, and so we all just like learned it, got together, we like played it through a couple times. We're like, all right, let's film it, and so we did it, and it sounded great. It was super fun, and the same thing with AJ Lee and all these other great people we collaborate with. It's just like it keeps it exciting, it keeps it fresh. It makes it so that whenever we see these people at other festivals, we're like, oh, let's
Yeah,
get you guys up on stage with us. We'll do that song that we learned how to play, and like it's so fun.
I love it. I think that's what I like most about, music and seeing shows these days is the collaborations and people coming together. I remember one of the nights when I saw you at Z's house, I think it was you were there and Willie T was there and Sam Chase was there.
Oh yeah,
And we're all just everyone's just playing music and one person disappears for a second, two other people are playing music and one person disappears and yeah, it's just awesome to catch all that stuff. I mean, that's kind of like my college days in Colorado were all that type of thing, just musicians getting together and playing tunes and similar in
yeah.
Tahoe. And we're also thinking, so I'll be photographing the Gamblers Run Festival and also we're going to bring my podcast set up there and we're thinking about setting up a little area where we can get some collaboratory music played that we can maybe put on the podcast for the episode coming after that. So that could be pretty
That's
cool.
awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really appreciate your time. And is there anything? So you guys are playing on Thursday, July 24th at the Gamblers Run. You got anything in store that might be happening or anything like that, or just your regular
I
Brothers
mean,
Comatose jams?
I hope we can set up some collaborations and stuff. I can't, and then of course the blackjack tables afterwards. We'll see you guys there. But yeah, man, I haven't quite delved into the lineup yet to see what buddies are playing it. So I'll have to see if anybody's around.
For
We
sure,
can.
I can tell you because I'm looking at it right now. The night you're playing, Paul Thorne is playing, and the
He's
North
awesome.
Mississippi All Stars are playing.
Oh, they are also. I don't know them, but
Yeah, the Dickinson brothers.
oh man, is that Luther? He plays guitar.
Yeah, I think it's Luther Dickinson. Yeah.
Oh man, he is amazing. I saw him sit in with some, I haven't seen the band before, but I saw him sit in with some friends. I think it was Midnight North or something was playing the Mystic and he came and sat in and I was like, this guy's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
So
he shreds for sure.
yeah. So man, whoever's around and is down, I'd love to try to get something going.
Right on. Well, I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you out at the Gamblers Run Festival, which is July 24th, 25th, and 26th at the Crystal Bay Club.
Thanks for having me on, Ryan. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it's a pleasure. It's good to see you, and
Likewise.
hope all is well with the kids and the fam, and I hope you have a good time over in Europe. If that's before or after, I don't know, but
It's before. Yeah. It's
heck yeah. So you
Fourth of
guys
July
will
weekend. Yeah.
nice. Heck yeah.
Cool, man. Good talking to you.
Yeah, be good.
Now you too. See ya.
Later.